Hello there, my name is Ben. Welcome to B Sports Ton of Adventures. Today I'm going to be recording a video about the rookies of this year's NFL draft and how the other teams need to prepare for next year's NFL draft and how good these rookies are and what they need to do for next year. Okay. Let's get started off with the first pick in last year's draft. The number one pick of the 2020 NFL Draft was Joe Burrow by the Cincinnati Bengals. He was a QB out of LSU. You already know that probably. Either way, he was an amazing pick. I cannot lie to you guys there. He's going to be out a while due to a leg injury. This is filmed right before the 2021 playoffs start, right around week 16-ish of the 2020 season. And I'd say he's very great, but next year I'd definitely focus on a offensive lineman. He's a very amazing player. He's very great. He needs some younger receivers, though, because A.J. Green and players like that aren't getting much younger. And so, yeah, people like that. He's an amazing player, and as you see, the Bengals aren't going to be, they're probably still going to have a top 5 pick because of the fact that Burrow got hurt. But when Burrow's not hurt, they were very good, like average team good. Like they weren't making the playoffs, but they were not so terrible to the fact that they weren't going to make the playoffs. They weren't going to be a top 5 pick. But this year they're probably going to have a top 5 pick again, which again is a pretty good considering how much I like this upcoming draft class. But yeah, I like it. And now let's go to the number 2 pick, which is Chase Young, who was a defensive end out of OSU. Chase Young is a good pro player, a high energy player, but is not an impact star. So you don't feel his presence as much. He doesn't distort opposing offenses and is often handling even schooled one-on-one by tackles who outweigh him by 60 pounds or more. Also, the future, he might get better, but if I were the football team, I would get some help at other positions. And if he isn't that good by the 2021 trade deadline, so next year's trade deadline, then you might want to trade him for someone a little while he's still got trade value because he'll still be very, very young. Either way, I honestly think that the football team, they're very good, but honestly, they need just a little bit. Football team are great. And they, they've been an okay team. I get it, they're in the NFC East. That division is absolutely garbage, which, it's the NFC East. So, it's always been pretty bad. But, hey, they are the front runners in the NFC East, meaning they will make the playoffs if they keep this up. But then again, it's a very close division where I don't think they even have over 6 wins. So yeah, like I said, get some players who are a bit better. And yeah, it's a pretty great draft. It was okay, but either way. Now let's go on to the next one. Detroit Lions picked Jeff Okudah, also from OSU, who was a corner. His stats are very underwhelming for a cornerback that went so early in the draft. He has no forced fumbles, 1 interception, and 2 passes defended. So I think they might have reached a bit for that pick, but maybe they can see how he plays next season. But even with their record, 5-7, they fired their head coach, so that might have been why Okudah isn't playing to their expectations. And once they have a better coach, it might be a little bit better because, you've got a guy like Matt Patricia, who was their head coach. I don't know. As of right now, I don't think they've hired another one. But, once they get a better coach, who knows? They might be amazing with a new head coach. But yeah, it's a pretty decent pick. It's not a great pick, but it might be one day. New York Giants, they selected, who was it? Yeah, Andrew Thomas. He played at Georgia, and he was a first-round draft pick. He hasn't had his name mentioned in a few weeks now, and that's a good thing. It means that Thomas, whose NFL career got off to a rocky start, has settled down to his role as left tackle on the Giants. The offensive line, all he can be is a role player, but they need that since Saquon's injury. Of course, Saquon carried this team when he was healthy. I don't remember the last time he was healthy, but I feel like everybody's expecting him to be amazing when he is healthy. I honestly think he'll be a kind of like a poor man's version of Christian McCaffrey, but a poor man's version of Christian McCaffrey is still very, very amazing. All right, so yeah, Miami Dolphins, they had Tua Tagovailoa, a QB out of Alabama. Holy cow, this kid is amazing. It took a little bit for him to get into the starting role. I don't remember which week it was that he became an official starter, but he did pretty good. He took it by storm. Even though there was like 2 or 3 weeks where they were without him for a little bit, and the Dolphins can still win without him because they had a few other players who they drafted in this draft that were pretty great. Like on the defensive side, I believe, his debut was against the Rams, and I believe like week 10 or 11 or something like that. And they played amazingly. Like, I was like, holy cow, they beat the Rams. They beat the snot out of the Rams. It's like I only watched a good 5 or 6 minutes of that game, and it was like around the second quarter, and it was like, okay, let me go watch the Vikings game. Because I'm not a Vikings fan, but that game was, in my opinion, way more entertaining. I watched that game, and that was an amazing game. So either way, amazing player, this kid. He is, like, I don't even think their defense can still win without them. And, I mean, yeah, they definitely won this pick, especially without Joe Burrow available. He's amazing. Without Joe Burrow, when Joe Burrow's off the draft board, because everybody expected him to be off the draft board by now, they got a very great pick in Tua Tagovailoa, or however the heck you pronounce that name. And Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert from Oregon. Some people call him like a older version of Trevor Lawrence. Some people call him Patrick Mahomes. I would chill on the Patrick Mahomes, but still, he's pretty good. The fact of the matter is, he can't close out games. I think it was week 5 against the Saints, he was this close. He threw a perfect pass that put them in field goal range, and their kicker missed it. That had nothing to do with Herbert. I think it had something to do with coaching or something, because it was absolutely horrible. Like, horrible. So maybe next year they'll have a little bit better, and who knows, really. They're still pretty good. I mean, all their losses have been so heartbreaking. It's just so sad. Like, they've all been getting lost. Most of their games have been lost by 7 or less. And except, was it the Patriots who played the Chargers, or was it the Patriots who played the Rams? I get them mixed up all the time. Either way, if they could just get that 1 or 2 more pieces, they would be so much better. And then, yeah. So let's go on to Carolina Panthers' Derek Brown. He's a defensive tackle who played at Auburn. He is a very great role player and is surprisingly fast for a defensive tackle. And the Panthers need more defense if they want to replace Luke Kuechly, because Luke Kuechly's retirement, man, that was sad. Like, I'm not a Panthers fan. I've only been an NFL fan for about a year and a half, and it's still an absolutely insane pick. Either way, I need to get my chair in the light now. I just realized that. And next pick was Isaiah Simmons from the Cardinals. Pick number 8, Isaiah Simmons, linebacker who played at Clemson. He is just the type of defense they needed. Their offense is already off the charts with Murray and Hopkins and others. So they can build around him next draft for the around defense. And yeah, he is a very fast person. Like, I was watching the highlights because I don't really pay attention to the Cardinals, and I watched the highlights because I was trying to study for the Seahawks pick, because I was like, I have no clue who that guy is. And I watched his first career interception. He can, as a rookie, catch an interception in the clutch like that. A rookie who goes into the spotlight, catches a pick, sets up the game-winning field goal in that game, which honestly I was like so surprised that they came out with that. I was like, holy cow. It's like, then again, that game really could have gone either way. I mean, but yeah, I'll talk about the Seahawks later, but that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. And next thing was hold on, let me scroll down here. Jacksonville Jaguars, they selected C.J. Henderson, who was a corner at Florida. And you don't know if he's going to be great or terrible. He just needs to stop with the rookie mistakes, in my opinion. Like, I think it was him against, like, the Dolphins or something like that. Like, he forgot that he was no longer in college. Like, I'm pretty certain it was, like, he threw the ball. Like, the QB hit him perfectly, hit the receiver he was supposed to be guarding perfectly. Receiver goes on the ground, and Henderson forgets how to play NFL football because he lets him score and get, like, what was it? I think he got, like, 20 more yards off the play before he realized, crap, I gotta go push him out of bounds. I don't even think it was him who pushed him out of bounds. It was somebody else. So, yeah, you gotta quit with them rookie mistakes, man. I understand you're a rookie. Everybody makes mistakes, but you're not gonna have I'm a rookie for much longer because next year, I know the Jaguars don't have much of a season after 2 weeks. I mean, they're, like, the 31st worst team in the league, so they're not going to have a playoff berth for probably a very long time. But yeah, I mean, they're a decent team all around. They need to be better, but still, I mean, they're pretty good. And what am I saying? They're terrible. Now Cleveland, they picked Jarek Wills for the offensive line from Alabama. He said himself he needs improvement, but everybody needs improvement. And he likes that where the team is going, but if I were the Browns, there would be a lot of things to fix, but mainly try to keep injuries out of Cleveland. Yes. I mean, injuries, they are absolutely horrible. I mean, this year's probably the worst. I mean, injuries took over. I think it was like Christian McCaffrey got hurt, and then Saquon got hurt, and then a bunch of other players, like the entire 49ers team got hurt. So, like, there's definitely a lot of things that team needs help with. There's definitely a lot of things that teams need, but, like, the Browns, they were so good at the beginning of the season. Then OBJ and, like, other players got hurt, and it was like, God, this is really bad. Because, I mean, it got bad. Okay, now either way, next up was the New York Jets. Mekhi Becton, I think I'm pronouncing that right, still yet to win a game. Still yet to win a game in the NFL. Sorry, Becton. Okay. They could not help their QB struggles, all their good QBs, except for Jordan Love, we'll get to that terrible draft pick later, were off the table. But so yeah, they couldn't really get a great pick. I honestly don't know what they were thinking at this point. I mean, I understand they still had Sam Darnold, who they thought was their future. Obviously, I mean, I honestly believe that they might not need Lawrence in the future. I just honestly think they might need to fire Gase and do whatever it takes. Like, anything for Adam Gase might be helpful. Like, firing Gase and picking up a decent coach will be perfect. I don't know who would be available. Just not Bill O'Brien. Don't pick up Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien needs to go coach college where he can't trade away everybody. Either way, he's a pretty good player, but, I mean, still, Trevor Lawrence will be a big favor. All right, Las Vegas Raiders. Henry Ruggs go fast. Alabama. For wide receiver. I am a Chiefs fan, and this kid made me mad in seconds. Like, I didn't even watch the game. I just watched the highlights, and I was like, that kid's a rookie? Like, what? I didn't even realize the kid was a rookie. I mean, I don't pay attention to the Raiders. I mainly only pay attention to the Chiefs, and that's probably it. Like, I pay attention to the Chiefs and, like, a few other teams. Like, that team absolutely sucked against other teams. Apparently, this team, though, they're insane because he's just insane. He's so daggone fast. He was able to beat so many good receivers. I am kind of mad that other teams didn't take him. I'm kind of happy for him, though, because he got the Raiders, and they've helped win. I think they beat the Saints and the Chiefs and a few other teams where, like, they probably ruined the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs. They probably ruined the, in my opinion, I'll get to that later. Either way, next up is Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They traded with San Francisco to get Tristan Wirfs. Again, some of these players, I stink at pronunciation. I don't think I pronounced that right either way. Offensive tackle from Iowa. He can give Brady just enough time to throw the ball. Even against a player, I don't know, I watched the highlights of that game, and it's like, I was paying attention to him specifically, and he was able to absolutely he didn't hold Joey Bosa to anything. He stayed in position well against a guy like Joey Bosa against the Chargers. It was absurd. Like, you don't do that well against the Chargers. Like, the Chargers kind of stink. But Joey Bosa is insane. Like, I was expecting something bad to happen to Brady. I would love that because I'm kind of tired of Brady. Either way, it's a pretty decent pick. It's insane, honestly. And Tom Brady, honestly, he's amazing at times. But yeah, so I like that pick. It's a great, very great pick. And the San Francisco 49ers, they traded down from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to draft Javon Kinlaw, a defensive lineman from South Carolina. So honestly, I don't understand why they took a D lineman. They already have Nick Bosa. He's already insane enough. Like, he was absurd. Like, the Chiefs were scared to run that wasp play at the end of the Super Bowl last year because they were like, Mahomes was like, I don't want to get killed against Nick Bosa because he knew his O-line, he didn't know if his O-line could hold up. And they did, thankfully, and they won the Super Bowl. Either way, I don't see why a D lineman was what you needed there. Get a wide receiver, which they ended up getting later in the draft. So get a wide receiver still here. Like, there's so many other receivers in the draft. Guys like Claypool, who I really wish didn't go to the Steelers. Either way, it's just bad. I'm sorry. Like, this is just, in my opinion, he's probably a great pick. He's probably very great. I didn't really pay attention. Then again, 49ers, injury bug, all that. So everything went wrong. Either way, they're a good team. I don't understand why they drafted a defensive lineman when all they needed was a wide receiver. Sure, Henry Ruggs is gone. You still got Jefferson. You still got Claypool on the board. Jefferson went to Minnesota, and he did insane things. Claypool went to Pittsburgh, and he helped Ben Roethlisberger a lot. It's amazing. And then we've got the next pick, which was Jerry Jeudy, another receiver that the 49ers could have picked. Jerry Jeudy from Alabama, he's got lots of flashy plays. Again, I had no clue he was a rookie. But then again, against the Chiefs, because this was like, I started doing my research right around when that game happened. And, just like the Chiefs game, he didn't have much to think about, so he didn't have much help. Like, he didn't get the ball much. Like, he tweeted after that game, at least I got my conditioning in. Like, he did not like the fact that he is not getting the ball to him. And when they didn't, they lost. Then again, Melvin Gordon ran all over us. But still, like, they're an insane team. They really did amazing. And, Drew Lock needs to go. I don't know what their answer is going to be at QB. They need somebody else. I don't know. Either way, pretty decent pick, I gotta say. Though, pretty great pick. Just get him the ball more. John Elway, get another QB in the draft if you can. I don't know all the QBs other than like Fields and Lawrence. Either way, Atlanta Falcons, A.J. Terrell, he was a corner out of Clemson. He's a great role player and is a great tackler, but the Falcons need just a little bit more help away from him. He's not holding this team up. He's definitely not. It's everything else. I don't know why the Falcons suck so much this year. I mean, I don't understand it at all. Maybe it's just Father Time talking to Matt Ryan or Father Time talking to Julio Jones. I have no clue. Either way, they need help and bad. Either way, all right. Now the Dallas Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, another wide receiver that could have been taken that I definitely think should have been taken earlier than this. Now, after realizing, again, didn't realize he was a rookie. And he's a great role player and reading the same thing as the Atlanta Falcons. He catches almost everything and would probably help Dallas to a Super Bowl if Dak Prescott and all those other players I can't think of did. Is Zeke hurt? I don't even remember. I haven't paid attention to the Dallas Cowboys in a long time. If Zeke wasn't hurt, I honestly feel that CeeDee Lamb would be an amazing player. Then again, you've got Andy Dalton throwing to you, and he was a starter last year. I mean, then again, it was for the Bengals, who ended up being the worst team in the league. But still, he was a starter once, and he had great weapons that he just refused to throw to. Now he has great weapons that he's throwing to. Then again, Mike McCarthy, not a great coach, but I think he's better than the Bengals coach at the time. I don't know much about the Bengals other than their most recent draft pick. All right. Next up is who is it? Yes. Miami Dolphins. They got this pick from Pittsburgh, and it is an offensive tackle from USC. He played better than expected, even as a left tackle. And he definitely has helped Tua thrive in what has happened. I mean, then again, Tua can just kind of scramble whenever he wants. He's similar to Kyler Murray, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, pretty great pick. Okay. Now, on to, where am I at? Las Vegas Raiders, they got this pick from Chicago. Damon Arnett, a cornerback from OSU. Damon Arnett is an aggressive defender and has great awareness and enough athleticism to excel in either man or zone coverage. He is capable of playing physical press coverage both outside and in. Neither man or either man. And he is accelerant. What the heck? Playing physical press coverage both outside and in the slot, and has excellent ball skills to make a play on the throw. But if I were Las Vegas, they need a few more defensive weapons to be contenders, in my opinion. Then again, I don't know much about Las Vegas. Still kind of weird saying Las Vegas instead of Oakland. Either way, Jacksonville, they got this pick from the Rams. Yes, the Rams, L-A-R, Rams, not L-A-C. They got Clavion Cherison? I don't know how to pronounce that. Defensive line from LSU. For an active defensive lineman, only 8 tackles and 1 sack. Jacksonville might have missed with this pick. They, in my opinion, take a good wide receiver and give Minshew someone to throw to. And if Minshew still isn't doing too good, you draft a guy like Justin Fields, but now you're behind and can't do that, and you're now forced to draft a QB right now instead of giving him weapons in the future. Great, my phone's about to die. Okay, but yeah, he's definitely great, but now you're getting a QB, you need a QB this year or you're going to be screwed. Now you just need weapons for him, for his QB, and you need QB in next draft, and then weapons in next draft, which Then again, you're probably going to get weapons in this coming draft as well for him because you got 7 rounds to pick from. And there are definitely a lot of wide receivers that I can think off the top of my head that are coming out of the draft. Indoor running backs. Like, UNC's running backs, they're really great. Again, I'm a UNC fan. I'm being a little biased there. Still. Hold on a minute. I'll be right back. I just have to get my phone charger. Hold on a second. Alright, I am back. And now, I believe we talked about the Jaguars last. Now time to talk about the Eagles pick. On the 21st pick, they picked Jalen Reagor, wide receiver from TCU. He's pretty good, surprisingly. I know everybody's like, he's not good or whatever. Like, I don't know everything because everybody's thinking everybody has something bad to say about the draft. But this kid, he was decent, I'd say. I mean, he's got 20 receptions. He's got 256 yards. Like, that's pretty good for a rookie receiver. Then again, I think I found this a log, like week 14 was when I started this. So, 256 receptions by week 15 or 14. I believe there was one of those other guys who we talked about. I think it was like Henry Ruggs or Judy or something like that who had a lot more. But either way, he has 1 touchdown, which is pretty good. And he also has 12.8 yards per reception, which means most of the times he touches the ball, he gets a first down. So hey, you can't be mad if you're an Eagles fan, especially now that you got the other Jalen Hurts, who was amazing in his rookie debut. Beat the Saints without Breeze, and let me get that balloon out the way. Then we've got the next pick, in my opinion, one of the best receivers in the draft. Sorry about that. Best receivers in the draft, Justin Jefferson from Minnesota. This pick was traded by Buffalo. Why would Buffalo do that? Oh yeah, to get Stephon Diggs. Forgot about that. 61 receptions, over 1,000 yards. As a rookie, already has over 1,000 yards. That's amazing. He has 7 touchdowns, and his first touchdown, I don't know if any of y'all watched that replay. I didn't watch the game. I watched the replay. He made 2 of the defensive players look super stupid. And I mean super stupid. I mean, it was pretty amazing how dumb he made them look. And, alrighty. And he's easily, in my opinion, the number 2 or 3 pick, and he's easily the number 3 pick rookie receiver in the league. Number 3 rookie in the league. And then I mentioned that he gets 17 yards per reception. Again, pretty much gets a touchdown or a first down on almost every single time he touches it. So don't sleep on the Vikings whenever they are not absolutely trash. But yeah, so let's go on to the 23rd pick. Los Angeles Chargers, that Kenneth Murray. He's a linebacker from Oklahoma. He is an amazing prospect, but you need to build more around him since one weak spot has been killing them, and it's different every game. So it looks like it's mainly coaching that needs improvement. Yeah, everything I put in my past self is true. It's different every game, whether it's defense screwing up, or a kicker screwing up, or a QB screwing up. It's different every game. And I don't know how it gets so bad. Either way, the next pick was New Orleans Saints. They had Cesar Ruiz. Now we're getting back to the most recent research that I did. He is great blocking for Drew Brees, and most recently, Taysom Hill. and he's great for Kamara's running game. If I were the Saints, I would fix the special teams unit because honestly, I mean, this has something to do with like just the blocking, like the players who like on kickoffs, like whenever they're like kicking off the ball.